Hope everybody's having a nice week so far. We'll be going in just a minute. Just got to redirect this baby. And we are live. There we go. Paste and go. Paste and go. And there we are. Good morning, Omar. Good morning, David. Let me just adjust my mic. All right. Hopefully that'll get the job done. Good morning, Zen Master. Let me go ahead and put this here. Let me go ahead. Good morning, Carrie, Ivano, Tom, Robert, Victor, War Dog is in the house. Kenneth is in the house. Love it, love it, love it. Let me go ahead and share my screen with everybody. There we go. There we go. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen now. Carrie, Ivano, Tom, Robert, Victor, Wardog, Kenneth, Pat, Jody, Delbert, Art, CJ, Lewis, Cam, good morning. Brian, good morning. Good to see you, Brian. Jesse, Nina, Henry, Rebecca. Wow, we got a full house. Dave, good morning. Infinitely, good to see you here. Good to see you. So glad to see everybody here. We got David, Omar, Wayne, Zen Master. We got everybody here. Everybody here. Raj, Duzzy. We'll be starting in just a minute, folks. We'll be starting in just a minute. Hope everybody's doing well. And again, I hope I've been able to keep you out of trouble. That's my sole purpose in life, to keep you out of trouble. All right. Let's see where we stand right now. We got Robert, Allen, Jill. Good morning, Jill. Robert, Rise, Ray. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Infinitely, good morning. Sassy Trainer. I love the name. All right, from Pahrump. Wow, that's impressive. All right, I think it's a good time for us to start right now. So before we begin, Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day. In your members area, you will find a link. Today, I am going live at 1 p.m. with the voted #1 stock picker in the country. I'll talk to you guys about it. This guy is the #1 stock picker. We're showing off his system that could be one of the best you've seen. He's been a major player for Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, and Morgan Stanley. He's been awarded a patent by U.S. government and studied by Harvard Business School. That's happening today. Good morning, Penny. I didn't see you. Gotcha. I got you, Penny. No problem. Roddy, good morning. Deanna, good morning. Harry, good morning. And also, don't forget VIP room, where I'll be talking about levels today, key levels. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And hopefully that detractor, what was his name? I forgot his name already. Here, what was his name? What was the guy's name? What was that guy's name? Russell. Hopefully Russell will show up the VIP room and say hello to all of us today. Hey, Jacques, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So, hey, Rochelle. All right. So far, the market is not really doing much. Russell is down a little bit. The NASDAQ is up a hair. The Dow Jones is down a little bit. Yesterday, the Dow made a swing high, all-time high, and the NASDAQ made a one-week low. Moondog is in the house. Yay! Yes, Russell, exactly. Good morning, Richard. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. So this is total randomness right now. As far as Fed data news coming out today, we got consumer confidence. That's coming out at 10 a.m. One of the reasons we don't really do anything or go crazy till about 10 a.m. We also have the home price index. This is not going to be a big report. The only big report is going to be the manufacturing index and the consumer confidence. Do I believe this is going to have a major impact on the market? No, I do not. I don't think it'll have any impact on the market because we have GDP and we have personal income on Thursday and Friday. That's going to be a 1-2 punch. Good morning, Darren. Flying Ronan is in the house. Oh, Rochelle, can you send me a pic of Julie and I'll post it in the VIP room? Just send me an email, roger@rogerscott.com. I want to see what the kitty looks like. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Richard. Good morning. And by the way, not to beat a dead horse, but you guys killed it yesterday. I want you guys to see this. Roger Scott. Hold on a second. You guys got to see this. Look at this. Julie, TradeWiz, Sandra, Ortiz, Adam Eagle Beagle, Ben, Cam, Karen. You guys have been so nice. I'm going to post this link here one more time in case you wanted to post your comment there and you haven't had a chance yet. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to today's broadcast. Hey, Randy, good morning. JB, good morning. How do I think Friday will look? Brett, you're in the right place to find out today. Don't ask me. You're asking me if you should marry a girl who you just met at the bar. Why not find out if you like her first? That's what we're here to do today, okay? So we have minor. That's what you're asking for is a conclusion. I'll get to that at the end of the broadcast. Consumer confidence, not a big report. What about earnings? Well, guess what? We don't have big earnings today. We have nothing to report. But boy, oh boy, tomorrow's going to be hey, Alan, how are you? Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. We got CRM, we got Chewy, we got CrowdStrike, and we got Nvidia. Obviously, Nvidia is going to be the big daddy of the day, but don't undermine a CRM. CRM is a very important company, as I said yesterday, because tons and tons of medium to large size, not huge companies, but medium-sized companies, which is what rules this country, use CRM. So if the forward-looking statements are bad, that can reflect poorly on the economy. I listen to earnings from companies like CRM, Shopify, very, very closely because they tell us what's going on with the retail sector and what's going on with the industrial sector. That's very, 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 very important. All right. Yeah, well, there is stuff coming out today, okay? There is stuff coming out. I'm talking about big stuff. I have that here. I'm talking about huge things. So what's coming out today? Hain Celestial. Hey, Angie, good morning to you. And what's coming out tonight? Well, you got Nordstrom's. Like I said, Umbrella's coming out tonight, but there's really not much coming out today in comparison to yesterday. Remember, that's why I highlight only the biggest players here for you. Yeah, send me an email, Rochelle. Here, roger@rogerscott.com. Good morning, Gabriel. Are you guys getting chilly in Canada yet, or is it still hot? All right. So not a lot of bang from the market, not a lot of volatility expecting, especially with what's going on tomorrow, especially with this. What am I expecting today? I'm expecting a wait and see with very low institutional trading. Why? Because number one, next Monday's a holiday. So right away, we know institutions are not going to be hot and heavy. Number two, volume yesterday was near one of the lowest we've ever seen. Right now, retail traders are pushing the market, not institutions. I think institutions will come in tomorrow, but right now, what institutions are doing are pushing the market around on low volume and trying to distort it and get you guys to come into the bids and to offers and just doing this, just to sucker you in. Don't fall for that banana in the tailpipe. Then to Tennessee, haven't been homesick since March. Well, drive carefully, Angie. Hot in Toronto. All right. Terrence, good morning from Tucson. Good morning. And also, don't forget, Customer Service Live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you have a customer service question, I'm not the guy to go to. Cam and Gestapo show is where you want to go. The link is in your members area. All right. The bond market. Remember what I said yesterday, guys? I said I'm not seeing the bond market make newer highs. I'm actually seeing the bond market break down. So yesterday, the bond market went lower. And to now, the bond market is at the 8-day EMA. I was expecting after last week's announcement, I was expecting the bond market to start making new highs, because if the bond market makes new highs, interest rates make new lows, right? The time has come. We're about to make a move. Blah 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 blah. Hey, Ralph from Atlanta, good to see you here. So we're at the 8-day EMA, and if we continue moving lower, this is not good for the bond market, and this is telling us that the market is not reacting as bullish from the Fed announcement last week as we might expect. Now, why may that be happening? Well, you know how they're saying things are getting much better. We're getting closer to 2%. Well, look at the PCE index year to year. They're expecting a number. This is a year ago, and this is what they're expecting. Does that look like inflation is getting better or worse? How about core PCE? 2.7 to 2.6. So my question to you is, if the expectations are actually worse than what the number was a year ago, are they really making that much of a beat to inflation? I'm not seeing it. Matter of fact, I'm seeing them working towards inflation. I'm seeing the progress at about 30% of what they're claiming. 30%. Yes, Francis, I know what Fahrenheit is. My parents are European. Of course I know what Fahrenheit is. Celsius. Oh God. My parents are European. Of course I know that stuff. I also know that the temperature, anything over 36 Fahrenheit is temperature. Did they count much, Rochelle? What are you talking about? Hey, Dr. Serena, our actuary. Nice. Dr. Serena, are you finding that we're getting more people in less amount of time? I'm not counting. I'm just curious. Do they count much? Yeah. Yeah, so this is important. This is an important number, because this is telling us that what the Fed is telling us is just bullshit. Don't believe me. Look at the numbers. This is core PCE. This is price index. Inflation is supposed to be moving towards 2%. 2.7 is the expectation. So don't get me involved in this shenanigans. I just don't see how things are so much better. But anyways, so I'm expecting actually the news not to be as great, and I'm expecting the bond market to cool off, and I'm expecting it to impact stocks. And I think semiconductors are already seeing it. Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think it's going to be a bad report. All right. Now, what about volatility? Notice volatility has not come down at all. We are still above the 15 level. Look, we dipped here. Actually, we never went. Here's 15. We dipped here for like 5 minutes, and then we went back above. I think everybody's waiting for the report, Rochelle, on Friday to see if the number is going to be better. Because if this number, God help us if this number is worse, it's going to make the Fed look like a bunch of clowns. Links, let me give you the links. I'm giving you 2 links. I'm giving you links to the class we're doing at 1 o'clock with the number 1 stock picker, according to a news publication, and my VIP room. They're all there. Both links are there. Don't miss the 1 p.m. session, and don't miss the noon VIP room. So this is bothersome. This is like the Fed pissing on our leg and telling us it's raining. Really? But you're making progress, right? That's why your expectations are worse than a year ago. Look, notice I'm only pointing at a year. Look. I'm only pointing at these numbers. Nobody looks at month to month. You tell me why these numbers are worse than the year ago. If we're making such good progress. You tell me. I didn't write this. I'm not Econoday, but this is it. So I don't know. All right. So volatility is holding on. We may have another volatility spike. That's right. That's right, Angie. That's right. All right, gold. Gold, I still like. There's really no reason not to like gold, especially with China hoarding gold. And again, with so much uncertainty with the elections, I wouldn't think gold is a bad investment right now. And don't say I didn't tell you, because I did tell you right here. I did, and I gave you two gold stocks, and they both made money. Crude oil. Well, crude oil, we rallied, we huffed, we puffed. We are now at the 50-day moving average, immediately above us. Let me just fix this real quick here. We are literally at quarter fair value, above year to date fair value, right below the 100-day moving average, and right at the 50-day moving average. To say that there's a lot of resistance here would be an overstatement. I would say there's like you're trying to get into a rock concert and there's 10,000 people in front of you in line to get in. All right. If you could make policy to reduce inflation, what would your top policy be? To keep rates elevated for another 3 to 4 months. Yeah, 3 to 4 months. Sorry, Angie, I don't know what 87 is supposed to mean. Sorry, Angie, can you rephrase that so I know what you're talking about? I don't know exactly what you're referring to. But yeah, I would want the Fed to keep rates elevated till these numbers are actually down. What they're doing, Cam, is they're trying to anticipate because of the political. Okay, here's what they're doing. It's a good question. Because of the political pressure, the Fed is trying to lower rates ahead so they're not behind the curveball. The problem with that theory is inflation is extremely sticky and inflation tends to pop back up. The problem is if they start lowering rates now, they're going to have to turn around and start raising rates, which is going to make them double as incompetent. If I know that, if I'm sitting here telling you that, then the greatest minds in this country also know that and telling them that. And I believe that is why Powell is not telling you, yes, we're going to adjust rates on September. That's why he said the time has come, but then he said we're still not certain on the timing. And again, I think the timing in the best case scenario is November. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's go on here. Let's continue. So crude oil, I think crude oil has a big mountain to climb. I think there's strong resistance here. And I think the only reason crude oil would go higher from this point on is if we had increased Middle East turmoil. Is that possible? Absolutely. Middle East turmoil will cause us to go higher in a flash. News is a lot more important than technical levels. Remember that. News, earnings, any kind of fundamental news is more important than technical levels, because technical levels imply news is expressed, so it's more powerful news. Okay, thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. I tell you, who doesn't love me? That guy Russell sure as hell doesn't love me. But again, that's my point of view. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be even further honest with you. I don't think it's making that much of a difference. I think it's making a big difference in the short term for the stock market. I think if you look 6 months in advance, I don't think the difference of whether we lower rates in September or November is going to be all that instrumental in the big scheme of things. Why? Because the market already is dangling that deflationary carrot. That's just a detail. The market's like, okay, we're moving towards deflation. We're moving towards deflation. So I think in the short term, it's going to impact the bond market. We may see it go lower, come back here near fair value, which is right here, by the way, not up here. But I think overall, if you were to look at this over a 6 month to a year period, I don't think it's going to make that much of a. Yep, that's what he said, Jill. That's what you saw his email. That's what he said. Here, let me show you what he said. I'll try to make it tomorrow's session. Your stats sound. Here's what he wrote. It's right here. You see, when I say I'm transparent, I can't be any more transparent. I'm literally sending you the email, showing you the email 20 hours ago. Here's his email right here. I'm certainly seeing some people posting that you have helped them, and that is what really matters. Hopefully he'll come in. I'll try to make it to tomorrow's session. I can't force him to come, but you know. Yeah, he did, Jill. He did. How do you like my level of transparency compared to my detractors? Do you like my level of transparency better? No, I have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, to be afraid of. I am very proud of everything I do, and I'm fully transparent. And let the performance speak for itself. Yeah, I thought so too. In all fairness, his reaction and his response was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't being a dick. He was being kind of nice about it. So hopefully he's he'll be straight up. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, I'm totally transparent. Like, why not? Like, what do I have to hide? You know? I'm literally showing you my email communication with this guy. I've been with you a very long time because of your transparency. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. 350. Here we go. I love Dr. Serena. Dr. Serena, I'm a big numbers guy. I could like follow numbers all day long. So I love when you do that. Please don't stop. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Do not worry. If Russell listens to you, he should come around. Use sincerity and good intention. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, everything I say is exactly, and recorded too. Miss your morning session, read information. Thank you. Oh, you guys are great. Hey, Murray. Good morning. Well, that's the other thing. Okay, that's the other thing, guys. Remember something, and this is something I've been talking about a long time. A lot of people believe that when Fed takes action or when the president signs an order, it's going to have an immediate impact in your lives. Just so you know, it usually takes not 6 months, 2 to 3 years to feel the impact of a change in law. Just so you guys know. Honesty is best. That's why I love you. Cam says at the time of this review, the SEC was slamming a bunch of trading systems. Very true. It was during COVID. You're an exception to the rule in a very good way. Thank you, Art. You guys are fantastic. Fantastic. This is why I do this. Honestly, this is why I do what I do. I love the feedback. It must be my insecurity. All right. So bond market, guys, let's hope I'm wrong and let's hope it'll rally higher. But if you see the bond market coming down to this level, to the 112 level, it's no good. It is no good. It is bad. Very, very, very bad. So let's keep an eye on the bond market. But I would expect, after what Fed said on Friday, if they truly were intending to lower rates in September, and I think if large institutions believed them, I think they would have rallied the bond market, which they did not do. Okay, they did not do. Thank you, Roddy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Very, very nice. Very, very nice of you. That's very, very nice. Let me just repost this in the chat. You guys are fantastic. So nice. All right, there we go. All right, let's continue. Kanaka says, I always believe in you, and the way you teach us always helps not to fall in trap. We are here to protect you and you, which is true. Thank you, Kanaka. I appreciate it. I need some protection too. It's dangerous out there. It's a crazy world out there. But here's the thing. What if somebody reads that review and thinks I'm a nut job and doesn't follow me? They're going to miss out on a good thing. I don't want them missing out on a good thing and going with some guru that's really a disguised furu. We don't want that. Okay, so folks, we want to watch the bond market and we want to watch this pivot carefully. And this pivot is 112.17.8. All right, right here. So let's be very mindful. If the bond market starts coming out, it causes the yield to increase. All right. And I've already talked about crude oil. I am not going to go long any crude oil stock. But Roger, you recommended ONEOK, OKE, the other day. I did. Why did I recommend ONEOK? Because it's not a crude oil stock. It's a natural gas stock. Thank you, Richard. Hey, Eagle, good morning. Rebecca says the policies put in place by the current president won't be felt until the middle of next. Exactly, Rebecca. Exactly. Excellent, Kanaka. If they're lost, you are the best. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. You guys are really fantastic. I can't say enough. But so ONEOK is it's a natural gas distributor. It's not a crude oil stock. It does belong to an energy complex, but and if I don't know if you guys saw the chart, I showed you a chart on the stock. But I got an email asking, why did you recommend ONEOK? Great question. Look at this stock. It's not a it has no correlation to crude oil. It's a pipeline. It's a natural liquid gas business. And typically natural gas seasonally begins to move up around September. You know how there's a big demand. I know a lot of you guys are into seasonality. One of the biggest seasonality is energies, and energies natural gas actually has better seasonality than crude oil, and seasonality for natural gas tends to move higher. It tends to move higher in September because a lot of folks in Europe use natural gas for heat, and there's been a shortage of natural gas in the winter the last several years. So this is a stock you guys may want to keep on your radar. And if you see me recommending this stock, it's not because it has nothing to do with crude oil. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that. Okay. All right, let's put everything together, go through momentum levels and all that other stuff. I've got 3 A-line stocks on my radar for you guys for today, but they come with a caveat, okay? A big caveat, okay? So investors are awaiting a fresh batch of U.S. economic data and bracing for Nvidia. And again, it's not because Nvidia is such a big stock. It's because its impact on other chip stocks and the whole AI fiasco, which I'm protesting against. I got to get a hat that says I protest AI, because to me AI is just technology. It's just computer chips. It's not really AI. I think we're pretty far away from AI. I think when we're in the Terminator world, when we have robots, a speaking robot, that's AI. To me, this is just the next line of technology. So I believe the market will be muted, and I think a lot of funds will be looking for this. But when I talk about stocks like BJ's, when I talk about stocks like retailers like BBY, it's a very similar thing to what I'm talking about in terms of Nvidia, because those stocks are very essential. They relate to other stocks. So don't always look at a stock and say, well, this stock doesn't have a lot of market cap, therefore it's not important. Do you remember the Target a few years back during COVID, the example I keep giving over and over? Target is not like a top 10 stock, but it moves the market because the impact of Target can be felt in other stocks and so forth. ONEOK, yeah, ONEOK. I thought I said ONEOK, but I guess not. VST, no. I don't consider VST part of the crude exposure manual. That's a good question. Okay, so blue chips, the Dow made a new record high. Tech-heavy NASDAQ dropped a 1-week low. That says it all right there. I mean, and what is very interest rate sensitive? Technology. The fact that the 10-year doesn't want to go higher, and the fact that the NASDAQ made a 1-week low, one day, 24 hours after the Fed made their announcement, is not a bullish sign, folks. That's not a bullish sign at all. It's more of like buy the rumor and sell the fact kind of a news announcement, okay? PDD slumped 28%. I wanted to short the stock. I totally just missed it. I missed a good 3-point intraday move in the stock. I missed it. What can I say? I totally missed it. One of the reasons why I missed it is because it made it move before 10 a.m. and I don't want to do anything before 10 a.m. And after 10 a.m. I just forgot about it. So that is on me. Yeah, SLB going back into Russia. I wonder what kind of heat they'll take for that. Um, let's see. Chip stocks got dragged yesterday. I showed you SMH. We talked about SMH yesterday. I warned you how they couldn't break the yesterday, 24 hours ago on this broadcast. I talked to you about how I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I don't like how they can't break the 50-day moving average. They are now moving towards the 100-day moving average. They're below the A line, and they're now moving towards fair value. And I'm going to talk about semiconductors when I give you stock picks today with a big caveat. So please, please don't just casually look and listen to what I say. That could be very dangerous today. Please pay attention to everything I say, okay? Especially the part about the chips. So chips were weak yesterday. We had ARM slide, we had Marvell drop. Tesla, almost short Tesla based on this news, but I didn't want to because it's in between two moving averages. Tesla slid 3% after they announced a levy, 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles, which includes Tesla manufactured in China. That is a big, big problem. On the bullish side, crude oil climbed over 3% to a one-week high, with Marathon and COP rising more than 1%. As I warned you, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. We have three resistance levels here. We're literally, this is like 100-day moving average, 50-day moving average, quarter-to-date VWAP, year-to-date VWAP, and 200-day moving average. So you've got a lot of resistance. Now, if we can get above this level right here, maybe, I'll see. But honestly, I would wait for crude oil to be above 82, 83 to really get aggressive into that. Let's continue. And I like to go back and forth. That's why I wait to do this in between. BJ's advanced over 1%. They were upgraded. Keep an eye on restaurant supplies today. Keep an eye on Costco. Keep an eye on consumer discretionary / staples. They're kind of a gray area. Restaurant supplies. Again, not a big stock, but a stock that can really influence the sector. Because again, if you have a stock that is related to other sectors, it's like a domino effect. You guys know what a domino effect is. All right. Durable good orders came in better than expected, but core durable good orders came in less than expected. Again, this is monthly data. I'm not really big on monthly data. Okay. Yes, they did, Eagle. They did. That's exactly what they did. And so looking at Tesla, I was talking to Matt about this, and this I like when fundamentals and technicals agree. Okay, so I like Tesla, but I felt Tesla. If Tesla was below this level yesterday, when the news came out, I'm trying to teach you guys something here. So when the news came out, if Tesla was below 210, I would have shorted Tesla to the 200-day moving average. But I felt because Tesla was inside this range and it was too close to the 50-day moving average, and volume was not high yesterday and volume was low overall, I didn't feel that this news was impactful enough to short the stock. And I even went as far as to consult with Matt. I usually don't consult with Matt unless I'm about 75, 80% in the direction of taking the trade. If I'm just shopping, I'm not going to talk to Matt. But if I'm not 100% sure, if I'm 100% sure, I won't even ask him. I'll just put the trade in. But if I'm like 75% sure, I'll ask Matt. If I really like it, but I don't love it, I'll ask Matt. And Matt's like, yeah, I agree with you. And when he and I agree, then it means I'm just like, forget about it. So we have a system, you know? So but if you see Tesla on high volume, if you see volume buzzing and you see it below 210, there may be a play on the continuation of this news. Monthly data could be tied into seasonality, but I would rather just use seasonality, Daniel. It's a good question. Can monthly data be tied to seasonality? It really doesn't show a trend unless it's several months in a row. Daniel, that's why I'd rather use seasonality than monthly Fed data. And also keep in mind, Daniel, it's very much subject to revision. The monthly Fed data, it's much harder to revise the annual data. You have a lot more data points to work with. So even the revisions are not that off, where monthly data, you can have this at 0.2, and then the monthly data will be revised to negative 0.2, and it'll completely change everything. whereas annual data is a lot. There's 12 data points. Okay. All right. So let's continue. So that's why I like to go back and forth with this. All right. Barkin says Monday he still sees upside risk of inflation. You see what I mean? When the Fed is talking about upside risk of inflation, should they be lowering rates? I don't think so. Though he supports dialing down interest rates amid a cooling labor market. Also, Dolly stated she believes it's appropriate for the Fed to begin reducing rates and indicated that larger rate cut remains on the table if the labor market weakens further. Hard to imagine anything that could derail the September rate cut. We will see. PD says durable goods that came in higher was in large part due to Boeing plane. Yes. I couldn't agree. PD, very good, very shrewd analysis, very smart. Let's give brownie points to PD. Very true. Very impressed that you were able to spot that in. He's absolutely right. PD is 100% right. Very true. Very, very true. We are now U.S. futures pricing in a 71% of a 2.5, 28%. These just keep going back and forth, but it's still at 100%. I made a mistake yesterday. I didn't read the 0.25, the 0.50. I just assumed the 0.25 was left alone. But no, this is the full mea culpa on that one. Everybody's waiting for Nvidia. Keep your eye on SMH, and I'll give you guys some levels to keep an eye on. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dr. Serene, I totally, since you started watching it, I totally forgot. I've stopped watching it. Look at that. 400 people. Nice. Hello, Tiziano. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but NVIDIA expectations are very high. Murray says the Fed has more double than the woman I date. Oy vey. All right. Also, don't forget, I have 2 events today. I'm going in with a legendary stock picker. He's been featured in just about every publication, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. You guys, I'm not blowing this out of proportion. I'm serious. And he's got a patent, not pending, that's been given to him. And his stuff has been studied in Harvard Business School. And I don't mean the imaginary one where you pay $1 to say Harvard. I mean the real Harvard Business School. Don't miss out. And then join me at noon for my VIP room. Also, Customer Service Live. I would not be able to do my job if Gustavo and Cam did not have Customer Service Live, because I would be too busy doing customer support. We've got consumer confidence today. That is a second tier report. That is not going to be a huge report. Because we've already had the Fed speak last week, and I'm just not seeing this make a big factor. I think everybody's waiting for NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow. Heat in. All right. Let's continue. Manufacturing will be reported today. Again, I don't think this number is going to be really meaningful in light of tomorrow. Now let's talk about Europe. This is important. Is it Fink? Sorry, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about, but you guys go ahead. Europe is up just a hair. Investors continue to evaluate latest U.S. data. Mining stocks gained ground on Tuesday. That's pretty defensive. Retail and technology slumped. Remember, they follow U.S., okay? A survey released on Tuesday revealed German consumer sentiment declined heading into September. Not good. Influenced by slightly rising unemployment, job cuts, increased insolvency, dampening income expectations. This is not good. This is not going to give us tailwind, which is why, again, today we may have a very lukewarm market. I am going to be very careful avoiding stocks that are related to chips, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I have a little special segment for you guys that I'm going to do when we talk about our stocks. So let's be careful. China closed lower. Notice China. Europe slightly higher, China slightly lower. I am a little bearish on China right now. I believe that China is set to, I think the China, which is a little higher right now, I think they're set to decline. I don't think they're going to be moving much higher from this. I think they're going to be coming back to this level. Snapping a 2-day winning streak, Canada's new tariffs on electric vehicles and metals from China dampened sentiment. Auto and related stocks underperformed. Canada announced on Monday it would impose 100% tariffs on imports on Chinese electric and introduce a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum from China. So I think we're going to see some impact from China, and it's not going to be a positive impact. I did a short on BABA yesterday as a result of that. Japan closed higher today, rebounding from earlier losses due to potential dip buying and yen weakness. Energy and healthcare stocks led the gains, not chip stocks. Analysts noted that Japanese equities might also have been bullish by hopes of a Fed rate cut after Fed officials on Monday reiterated dovish remarks. I wouldn't be holding my breath there. Kava slumped. What is Graham going to do? 8%. They took down half of their gains. And the other stock we're looking at is Hershey. They got downgraded. This may impact consumer staples today. Consumer staples is a major Dow sector, and Dow has been leading. So we're going to keep an eye on consumer staples for some possible cooling off effect. As far as momentum levels, they are fairly stable right now. The only instability I'm seeing right now really is in the NASDAQ 100 that has only 56% of stocks trading above the 50-day moving average. That is not good. And the Russell 2000, which has only 63% of stocks trading below the 200-day moving average. These are the biggest vulnerabilities at this point. All right. What about looking at sectors? We still have interest rate sensitive sectors leading. You still have the Dow Jones and technology lagging behind. You still have home builders, real estate, Russell, materials. But it looks to me like the Dow, the defensive stocks, are starting to move up here at the expense of interest rates. So what I'm expecting to see up here over the course of the next week or two is if there's two scenarios. Okay, the first scenario is Nvidia doesn't do well. It's going to put a hamper on speculative stocks like Russell, home builders, and what you're going to see is consumer staples, utilities, financial, industrial, healthcare, and the Dow Jones come up here. Or you will see all of these stocks that are at the bottom right now, literally at the bottom, including QQQ, technology and semiconductor, move back up to first place if the earnings are really, really good. But I am not seeing the Russell 2000, the home builders, the interest rates lead at this point. They may start leading again on Friday, but up till Friday, the big question is whether technology or blue chips are going to start coming towards the high. And I think tomorrow's report is going to be very, very instrumental in that. Okay. What about momentum levels, Roger? Remember yesterday I warned you? By the way, what did the market do yesterday? What did the SPY do yesterday? Did the SPY go up or the SPY go down? The SPY went down yesterday and it's down today. Here's where we're at right now. Interestingly enough, what does my momentum level look like? Remember, I put the raw back in. Well, guess what? We're only at 282. Let me show you something. You just keep your eye on this number right here. 496, 496, 282. You see how we went from overbought momentum levels to neutral momentum levels? Typically, when you see it go to 496, you will see it come down all the way to like 250, 200 before coming back up, and sometimes even lower. So I'm still expecting momentum levels to continue declining. But I warned you. Do you remember yesterday I warned you? I said we're at 496. Typically, when we're over 400, we start declining. Well, guess what? Was I right? You better believe it. Nice little trick, right? Have you guys ever seen that before? When X amount of stocks get above a certain level? No. You've never seen that before. You know why? Because I found this completely by luck and accident, because I do this every single day. And I found that whenever this number goes above 400, it tends to cause the market to be overbought. Not a study I did, just doing this for over 25 years every single day. Okay. All right. So momentum levels are getting better, but there's still room for downside. Okay. Usually when we go to 4 or 500, we start coming down. We go back to neutral, and then we start coming back up again. So am I bullish on the overall market right now? No, I am neutral at best. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about key levels. Right. All right. S&P 500. We did not go up. We went down yesterday. We're actually just very, very choppy right now. I'm expecting over the next couple of days, if the news is not better than expected, to us start moving towards the 8-day EMA, especially if Dow Jones starts going higher. On the Dow Jones, is this helpful to you guys? Are you guys benefiting from this? Is this helping you navigate the market? The Dow Jones made an all-time high. It is lower this morning. It is not going to gap up. And typically after making an all-time high, remember, this is only 30 stocks. You've got 500 S&P stocks breaking down. So don't be surprised if you see the market cool off just a bit today in anticipation of a little downside. What about QQQ? Well, QQQ was a mess yesterday. QQQ is already flirting with the 50-day moving average right now. And I warned you yesterday. Good. We need to create a scan that removes the ETFs. That way you have both. I have it already, Brian. I already made it myself. Thank you. I got it. But thank you. I got it. I appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. Good. So you see why I'm starting to become bearish to neutral on technology. Look where we're at. For 8 days, we tried to break this freaking 50-day moving average, and we couldn't. And now we're coming down. At the date, less than 48 hours after the Fed said interest rates were ready to go down. Well, what about SMH? How does that impact SMH? SMH couldn't even get above the 50-day moving average. Remember 265? We're not at 265. And now we're getting towards the 100-day moving average. And if we break the 100-day moving average, we're going to go back to fair value. This is why I'm very skeptical about Nvidia earnings. And also remember, every AI company without exception has been talking about a slowdown moving forward in AI. I hate using that AI word. It's just technology, a slowdown in technology. But again, if we break the 100-day moving average, and here, let me just adjust this right here. We are right now between the quarter to day VWAP, between the moving averages, and I mean, we are like pinched right now. So if this breaks the 100-day, which is at 239.88, the odds are we're going to go back to fair value. Remember, we can't stay away from fair value too long. Fair value is either going to start moving higher or we're going to go towards fair value. In this case, I'm not seeing fair value really moving higher. So to me, it appears like the price, it wants to go back to fair value. If you've watched my full-time trading class, then you know what I'm talking about. Russell 2000 is down a full basis point today. It looks, I warned you that if we couldn't go above this level, the odds are we're going to start breaking down. If we break down below the 8-day EMA, we are in fact going to touch the 50-day moving average. Fair value is all the way near the 100-day line, which is at 203, which is another reason why I still have that short on. I know a lot of folks are, why do you still have that Russell short? Because I believe the Russell is going to fall apart. I don't believe the Fed is going to do anything till November. And I think September is already baked into this market. But when you see QQQ not making all-time highs after the Fed says, new tech or just tech. If you see the QQQ doing this after the Fed announces the time has come to lower rates, that's a time to run. That's a time to run the other way. Okay, that's not a good sign. what is the fair value line called? It's the year-to-date VWAP. This is the quarter-to-date VWAP, and this is the year-to-date VWAP. Right here, you could see it right here. See this? See right here, 1/1/24, 6/1/24. This is 6/1/24, and this is 1/1/24. Yeah, anchored. Yes. Yep, he dropped out. Yep. I like Skydance. Skydance has all those shows they bring from Italy and BCC. They're going to have a lot more foreign shows. That's very, very good for Paramount. I really like Skydance. You know, Skydance brought Gamora into USA, the #1 show on HBO. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Gamora, favorite show of all time. I'm showing it to my wife now. She's in love with it. Watch it. It's dubbed now. You can watch it dubbed. My favorite show of all time, Gamora, hands down. It's my third time watching it. All right, let's continue. So I'm not bullish on the stock market right now. Am I bullish on the Dow Jones? More so than tech, but again, I'm not seeing. I'm honestly, folks, I'm neutral at best right now. Neutral at best. Okay. So let's do intraday levels. Let's start with the Dow since we're already here. Okay. And then I got to get to work. People get a kick out of that. I got to get to work, but I do. I got to get to work. This is all just fun and games. I got to get to the office. Okay, levels on the Dow. Sorry, Angie, I don't know what you're talking about. And barter nicked with Para. No. Paramount is going to join Sky. They're going to merge with Skydance Media, which is a European company. Good, Harold. Good. See what you guys learned? You learned the names of my detractors. You learned the names of my favorite shows. You learn about Clyde. It's a lot of educational here. Yeah, Gamora, guys. Gamora. Right here. So I think that the Dow is going to come right back into this fair value area. I think we're going to move below 412. That's the key level, 412. The next level is 406. To the upside, the level you want to watch is 414 right here. Right here, 414. And on the downside, that level is right here, 408. So you've got, I think we're going to go below, I think we're going to today stick below 412 and 408. The level to the upside is 414 and a half. I don't know about a big drop, but I'm not bullish right now. And I don't care what Nvidia says. I'm not bullish. I'm neutral right now. I'm seeing a two-sided market at best. SMH. Let's do the levels for SMH. Something like that, Angie. It's in Italian, but they when I saw Gamora the first time, it wasn't dubbed, so I had to read subtitles. HBO bought it when they launched Max. They launched Max with bringing Gamora to America, and they dubbed it. Gamora was the first show that Max, just Max, not HBO Max, but Max came out with, and they dubbed it. So now you can watch Gamora completely dubbed in English, which is freaking amazing. It's my third time watching it, and I am in love. Okay, so SMH, we're breaking this level here. We're breaking the 241. The next level to the downside. Isn't this cool? We could talk about my favorite shows here. I get to see Cam. I love Cam. We get to spend some time together. This is like the funnest way to spend the morning for me. Thank you guys for making this morning a lot of fun for me. So 232 is the downside. On the upside, it's 251. To me, it looks like we want to break this level on SMH and go down to this level right here. So right now, I would be watching the break from 242, 241.80 into 232.80. And if you guys remind me during the day, send me an email or something if we have a lot of volatility. I'll post these on the Telegram channel, okay? For QQQ, I don't mind posting this during the day on the Telegram channel. Just have to remind me. All right, for the QQQ, We are now squarely in this level. So we're below the 476 level. The next level here is 465. On the upside, the level is 485. So you got 485, 476.88, and 465 on the downside. Hey, Ivan, good morning. Well, you will, Kanaka. Just hang out here. You'll make some money, and you will. Angie did. A lot of folks did. So 485, 476.88, and 465. Let's now do this on the SPY, and I usually post the SPY one. The level on the SPY, let me just extend this here, is 464.15. And on the downside, that level is 458. The next level is 455. And the next level after that is all the way over here. So you've got You've got 464, 457.88, 455, and 454. Cool, Angie. So those are the key levels for all the major indices. All right. Again, you've got, and again, I could be off by they're not carved in stone, but you got 464, 450, 557, 70, 554, and all the way 545. Okay. So those are the key levels. Now let's talk about stocks, and I'm going to go to work after that. Again, I am neutral at best. Now, I told you guys, now I'm going to give you guys 3 A-line tech stocks. Now, why am I giving you these stocks? I'll explain to you why I'm giving you these stocks. Now, there's a caveat here, okay? There's a caveat here. Every one of these stocks is turning into an A-line stocks. Microchip, Micron is already a very nice A-line stock. Very nice. Like, this is a very nice A-line stock. And you still have this one. Now, I gave you WDC and Micron in the pit yesterday. My boss, nah, Clyde's not going to get too upset, Brett. Brett, don't worry. Clyde's not going to get too upset if I'm late for work. So Western Digital is breaking the 200-day moving average and the A-line. So, Roger, why are you showing us these amazing stocks and you're telling us not to trade them? Because Nvidia has earnings coming out. So what I would do is, I don't think MCHP is ready yet. It may be ready after today, but Micron and WDC are ready. This is not ready yet. But Micron, and again, I'm trying to be as transparent as humanly possible. Micron is definitely ready, and WDC is ready. Here is the problem with this scenario. If you get into these stocks, and the earnings on Nvidia is really good, you are going to lose money. With that said, if you watch these stocks, because these are the weakest chip stocks and tech stocks right now, and you see Nvidia coming down on earnings, these 2 stocks may be the perfect stocks to sell short or buy a put on. So I'm giving you these stocks not so you can make an ass out of yourself and sell them right now and lose money. I'm giving you these stocks in anticipation of Nvidia earnings. Capiche? Capiche? Do we understand each other? All right? Do we understand each other? Now let me continue. Now I'm going to give you my breakdown stocks. Breakdown stocks are fine. But those 3 stocks, only if hey, Nvidia came out with bad earnings. The market is going down. What stocks should I short? Oh, I remember. Roger gave me 3 stocks. Are they breaking down? Or do we understand each other? Do we understand each other? Are we clear? Okay, now STAA breaking down still. PBF breaking down still. I just want to make sure we all understand each other. What a breakdown. Look at this. Now, this is where you want to do options a little further out because this stock can take a little time to make its move, but what a beast. And SMPL. That's right, Rochelle. Oh, my. Simple food. I want to make sure we're all on because I'm going to get one guy sending me an email says, you told me to sell Micron and NVIDIA earnings were great and the stock went against me. And you know what I'm going to say? You did not listen to anything I said. Par. That's right, Brett. You can always look at the recordings if you forget. That's right. That's my short list. But I gave you 3 stocks that are on my chopping blocks if NVIDIA sucks when it comes out. And the one I really like out of those is Micron. So again, I'm just giving you heads up. Don't be in those stocks when NVIDIA comes out. RJ says, so you will tell us about these stocks after NVIDIA anyway, so you will just wait for you comments. Maybe I won't, RJ. You don't know. Maybe I'll forget. Don't rely on me. Write it down and maybe I won't. I don't know. Do I have a habit of following through and being specific and exact and dotting my I's and crossing my T's? If I do, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do it as a quiz. You don't know me. I'm very frisky around here. All right, let's do the long side. I roll in a very weird way around here, RJ. BXP to the upside. I like yesterday all day. I was confusing PayPal with, you should have seen me. Matt wanted to chop my head off. I was confusing PayPal with GoDaddy all day yesterday, all day. Like every time I was confusing the two. Because the chart looked alike. So I like GoDaddy still. I like Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, you can remind me. Johnson & Johnson. Be careful. Today may be a down day, guys. I'm telling you. And we're not going to open higher. We're going to open a little lower and drift higher, which gives us a really good time. Look, a lot of these are already below the 8 days, so be careful. Be careful. Be careful today. We may have a two-sided market. Hedva says, what was the first long? BXP. Hedva, are you still doing the Chuka dance? Does he? I'll show you that in a second. Look at Exact Science, how it's breaking through the 200-day and closing already 3 days, 4 days above the 200-day. That's nice. That's nice. Just give me 1 second and I'll show you. I'll show you, does he? Good question. Good question. PLD, not to be mixed up with PDD. Good. Hedva's still doing the Chuka dance. Good. PLD, Allstate. Notice not one chip stock. One tech stock, PayPal, but that's more of a financial stock, not a tech stock. GIS. And ACN. That's my long list. Richard says, what about CL? Let's take a look. Beautiful, Richard. But I'd like to buy it when it's at the 8 days. So if you can put an alert for yourself near 103.98, I would be much happier about you buying it around that price. It's a little too expensive here, but I think it's near fair value around 103, high 103s, shall we say? I may do that too, Richard. That may be a really good reversal trade right there. Okay. Now, somebody asked me a great question about Sienna. Now, did you guys make money on Sienna? And don't give me the whole BS about not being able to hold it overnight. I specifically held it overnight. So somebody asked me about Sienna. Why did I hold Sienna overnight? Gap from here all the way to up here. I'll check it out, PD. I'll do it right now. Look. So I asked folks, why did I hold this overnight? Because I felt more comfortable in it because it had such a nice big gap. You're welcome. I'll take a look in a few minutes, PD. Thank you. Where is the guy's page? Here's the guy's page. Let me give you his page. It bothers me because if you type in Roger Scott scam go to videos, it's the first thing that pops up. Here's his page. You guys go crazy. Go crazy, Angie. Tell him what you guys really think, all right? Good, Dave. Good. All right, guys. I had a fantastic day. The only thing that's left for me to do is to tell you to visit Customer Service Live, also known as the Cam and Gustavo Show. I'm going to give you these links. I have a guy today coming in. This guy is voted the #1 trader by a publication. He's got some really hot stuff to share with you today. And you guys don't want to miss out. That's happening at 1 p.m. I'll also give you that link again in the VIP room. Yeah, I'll give you that link in the VIP room when we all show up there at noon. And let me just copy some of these nice testimonials. And we will be done. Copy this, copy that, point that here. All right, guys, thank you, and I will see you later. Have a great day, guys. I'll be updating you throughout the entire day in the Telegram channel, and post some more comments under that video. Tell them what you guys really think of me. Bye, guys. Have a great day. I'll try to get Clyde to comment there too. Bye.